You often hear that Muhammad received divine revelation from Allah through the angel Jibril. But did you know that Muhammad never even heard the voice of Allah? And the angel in the cave never declared himself to be the angel Gabriel. Now, according to Sahih Bukhari, Volume 1, Book 1, Hadith 3, Muhammad was alone in the cave of Hira when the angel Jibril, or a spirit, appeared to him and violently seized him and commanded him to read. And Muhammad replied, "I cannot read." Then the being squeezed him 3 times until he could hardly breathe. Let me tell you, this was not a peaceful revelation. This was a terrifying encounter. After this, Muhammad ran home trembling, shouting, "Cover me, cover me." He was terrified and confused and thought that he may have been possessed by a jinn, a demon. His wife Khadija tried to comfort him, but it was her cousin Waraka Naufal, who was familiar with Christian writings, who suggested that this was the same angel that appeared to Moses. But notice that the angel never claimed to be Jibril or the angel Gabriel. This idea never came from the encounter itself, but from a human being's opinion. In Sahih Bukhari, Book 9, Volume 111, it's recorded that when the revelation stopped, Muhammad was so stressed that he intended to throw himself from a mountain. He was suicidal, he was unsure, and he was afraid. And then later on in the Quran itself, people accused Muhammad of being bewitched. In Surah Al-Isra 17:47 and in Surah Al-Furqan 25:8, it says, "You are, Muhammad, but a man bewitched." And in Sahih Bukhari, Book 71, 658, this confirms that Muhammad was under a spell and made him imagine he had done a thing that he had not done. I just want to highlight something here from a Christian perspective and show you how close this is to what we see in the Bible in regards to demonic possession. In the Bible, we see violent seizures, fear and torment, and voices speaking through the possessed. When the spirit came upon Muhammad, he was seized, suffocated, and terrified, and later on tormented mentally to the point where he was suicidal. The exact same symptoms we see in the Bible when someone is tormented by an unclean spirit. And you know what? The Apostle Paul warned us of this kind of deception 600 to 700 years before Muhammad even existed. Paul writes under the illumination of the Holy Spirit in Galatians chapter 1 verse 8, "But though we or an angel from heaven preach to you any other gospel other than that which has already been preached, let him be accursed." It's almost like Paul saw a future where a false gospel would come from a so-called angel of God. And that, my friends, is exactly what Islam teaches. A revelation that came that denies the deity of Christ and the crucifixion and resurrection, which the Bible, by the way, calls Antichrist, and is operating in the spirit of Antichrist. This isn't a continuation of the previous scriptures, the Torah and the Gospels. This is a counterfeit light masquerading as truth. Jesus Christ is the final revelation of God, not revealed through a violent spirit in a dark cave, but through love, prophecy, and resurrection power. God bless. Jesus is Lord.